Hello, and welcome to The Modern Lady, where you'll learn how to elevate your life with elegance. I'm Deborah. If you're new to my channel, please hit that red subscribe button so that you can get an update when I've got a new video to share. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you, ladies, so much for your continued love and support for my channel. I appreciate and adore you all. Today's video is an interview in a series called Pearls of Wisdom, where I shine a spotlight on elegant women that believe in the power of style and sophistication. Today's guest is Florence Fasan, an author and entrepreneur, and I'm so excited that she is here to share a few pearls of wisdom with us today. Florence, welcome to The Modern Lady.
Thank you very much, and thank you for giving me the opportunity and using your platform to talk to your audience.
Oh, you're welcome. We're delighted to have you here today. And so if you don't mind, let's just dive right into the interview. Can you share with us the story behind how you started your business, how you became an author? And I know you also founded a Miss Elegance Georgia pageant as well. So what's the story behind all of the amazing things that you've got?
All the many things I do. Yes, and you're actually right. There's a story behind it. So I work in the corporate world as an IT specialist, and I've done this for years. So I've been in corporate America for a very long time. But my transition to become an entrepreneur was by just one, I would say, a good incident, because it's what propelled me to be who I am today. And I was called into the office by my boss, and he was like, Florence, I'm sorry, we're downsizing, and unfortunately we have to let you go. And if I tell you, at that moment, I had probably $5 in my account. I wasn't expecting this, reality that was facing me, that I wouldn't have a job the next day. But that was an awakening for me, because that moment made me think of the probability that if you don't have this source of income, then what else? Nothing. And so I used that period while I was looking for another job to think about what are my other sources, of income that I can, dive into, because at the end of the day, when you depend on one, you never know what will, come out from that. And that was where I started my first company called Flowfix Image Consulting, because of my passion for fashion and styling people. So I started business, and alongside was looking for a job at the same time. So I got a job, but now I had this business at the side, which is my fallback plan, because you don't want to depend on, the 9 to 5. And it was as if it was like a spiral ball. And then the next thing, and I started the Miss Elegance Georgia pageant, which is a pageant that's close to my heart, because we are giving back to young girls by, empowering them and inspiring them to be, young and women that carry themselves with grace and poise. I also have a side business where I do design shoes and purses for women. So it's like my dream comes from helping, like, what can I do to make the world a better place? At the same time, having that goal of having multiple sources of income.
I love that. And it's kind of like thinking about the ideal strategy to have an investment portfolio. You have to diversify, right? So you're
Absolutely.
multi-talented and you're multi-passionate, and you're definitely able to work in your passion. And that's really the sweet spot, when it doesn't feel like work. You're doing something that you're good at, and you're doing something that you love. And so that's really a beautiful gift that you share with us. So
Yes.
I know that living on purpose, living in purpose is very near and dear to your heart. And so you talk about that a lot. What is the first step that you would say a woman can take to live her life with purpose?
The main tip that I can give is everybody faces challenges. And I feel that in challenge is where purpose stands out the most, because when you are facing, a particular challenge, as I said, you can actually transcend that pain or vulnerability or insecurity into something that would serve as a purpose. So for me, I always say you always look for purpose in your challenge, your struggle. So that's a good tip when, trying to find your purpose. And also your purpose can come from a passion. So for example, like I became an author by chance. I found out that I love to share information that inspires and empower people. And so from that moment, I was like, okay, you know what? When I write, I'm going to send information that somebody else will pick and be better off from. So again, I found purpose in passion. So you find it in pain, you find it in passion. And, that's a tip that I can.
Yes. So, ladies, you have to look for that purpose in whatever circumstance that you may be facing, whether it's your passion, whether it's your pain or trial or tribulation. And
That's
I
correct.
think there's a lot of different situations that we deal with as women that when things don't turn out how we anticipated or expected, or something just happens when we're not really even prepared for it. And you talked about your layoff situation. So Florence, for a woman who maybe is watching this interview and right now it's just a really difficult time for her, she's maybe facing something that she just did not expect or didn't see coming, what can you say to really help her be able to take some actionable steps forward and not necessarily let the weight and the burden and the stress overwhelm her during that hard time?
Um, First, I'm a solution-oriented person. So I think it's a skill on itself to always want to look for, okay, what is the lesson in this for me? What can I change? What can I be better of? So I think the first step is, okay, acknowledging that you have this problem, this pain, this worry, because when you try and avoid it, then what you're just doing is you're going around the circle, which you will still come back to. But acknowledging whatever stress or discomfort is the first step. But the next and most important thing is finding a solution. What can I do? A lot of people find themselves in positions where they are always blaming. Oh, it's because of this. It's because I've learned to first find out, okay, what is my role in this particular situation so that it won't happen again. So it's like you have to just focus on what you can do better at from that particular moment, and not sit down and sulk, I'm the victim. Oh, I've been, and, prepare yourself to be better at, that moment.
Yes, always looking for that continuous improvement. I think that's something that's really important because it's easy for us to get complacent, get comfortable, and when life is happening, it's very
Yeah,
easy to fall into what I would call victim mode. So instead of finding a way to carry yourself with dignity and move forward, it just feels better sometimes in that moment, in that uncomfortable situation, to just wallow in the pain. But you have
that's,
to move on and move past it. And so I
that's
think
it.
it was really powerful for you to share your layoff experience and your layoff story for women to hear how you overcame that with grace. So let's talk about poise for a minute. For any woman, especially a lot of women watching this would probably define or identify themselves as introverted or shy. How would you encourage them to maintain and carry that level of poise, even though they may not be the most outgoing or outspoken lady in the room?
So poise, I think, is something that should shine from the inside outward, because at the end of the day, you could have this facade, I'm confident, I'm an extrovert, and you still will stand out. You will stand out as somebody that has poise. So poise, really, for me, is from within. So you can be introverted, but still be able to maintain a calm and confidence that even somebody that's extroverted won't be able to portray. So I would say, work on your inner love for yourself so that it shows through that process. It won't be something that you're forcing yourself to. It will be a natural courage. So yeah, I would say work on your inside. Be kind, kindness, confidence, love for others, and then that's poise from within there.
Yes, absolutely. And I know that poise is probably a large part of what you're looking for. Are you a judge in the pageant, or do you just manage it and you have judges?
I do have judges, but I was once a judge in a pageant, and actually that's where I saw my own vision of my own pageant. So I was called as a judge in a pageant. So yeah, I'm able to pick. Okay, yeah, she's got that beauty from inside out. Boys in this generation is defined as what you are on the outside, but the actual true poise is that glow from the inside out, and it's something that cannot be, made up. You'll feel it.
I love that. And that's really what I believe as well. When we think about the idea of having an elegant life and being an elegant woman, it's truly about the core. It's about how you treat people. It's about your heart. It's not necessarily about just wearing a certain color or a certain wardrobe or having a luxury handbag. It's so much more than that. It's the core of who you are. And I think that's really essential to living a life with poise and with elegance. So I think that's beautiful, that what you shared. So Florence, can you talk about what inspires you? You've got so many different things that you are doing, how you are spending your time, your businesses. And so maybe if you can talk about where you get your source of inspiration, and also any recent books you've read that were inspirational as well.
Okay. So where do I get my inspiration from? I think the older I'm getting, I'm finding out that you have to just open yourself to what can you do to make the world a better place. So I think that's my greatest inspiration. For one, I admire people. Like, I admired you for doing this. Like, I have this great appreciation for people who go outside their comfort zone and try to make a change. So I think I would say that's my inspiration. I want to make a change. I want things better. So like when I started the pageant, I was thinking of teenagers, how they could, go through a process where we teach them how to sit, walk, talk, dine in a public setting, and how to carry themselves with grace and poise. So that vision is my drive. So, I would say it's, making the world a better place if I can, one person at a time. At a time sometimes it would be, my drive.
Yes.
And then book, I think you said something about what have I read recently. I read a book titled I Found My Voice, and it's by a young lady, Sharon Brown, and she basically is a story about she went through sex trafficking. It was deep, and again, she transcended her pain to helping other women in similar instances. So that was a very good book for me. And I guess I would say I read another book, which is my book. I wrote a book about 3 years ago. It was titled When Life Gives You Lemon. And so I was just cleaning up and I picked that up again and I read my own book. Interesting how I found some knowledge from it. So yeah, I would say those two books have been my most recent.
I love that. And so that's a really key point that you mentioned, Florence. It's really important to continue having that source of inspiration and pouring into yourself. And I think that's part of what you were referring to as doing the inner work. It's really part of the continuous improvement. You are always seeking resources. You're always pouring into your life so that you can pour into others and really change the world just one person at a time. That's all it truly takes.
That's it.
So I know you volunteer with domestic violence victims. Can you share a little bit about that experience and how you got involved and how it's impacted your life?
Oh, wow, you have done a lot of research. And I'm like, oh, okay. that's another passion of mine. And I stumbled into that by chance. Some people might think, oh, probably she was in a domestic violence relationship or something. But no, it was when I started my company, Flowfix Image Consulting, I actually wanted to do like a give back. And where else can you try and empower people, okay, that they're beat down and what so, but they want to go out and walk or, continue their lives. So I said, okay, this is a good point because Flowfix Image is about the image, what you portray to the public. So I went and did a free seminar at the shelter. And it was that moment that really connected me to what I now did afterwards, because a young lady, spoke to me just after the section, and she was like, "Wow, how can you really just come and tell me, oh, you have to look great, you have to look beautiful, you have to," but inside I feel so shattered. Like I don't even have a support system for the journey ahead of me. It's like it just ends after you talk to me. So when I got home that night, I pondered about how can I make a change. I know you really cannot force people out of it, but how can I do something that at least is tangible for those who have been able to get out of those situations? And so what we started doing every year, we do a fundraiser and we send gift baskets to the shelter. Then I offer free consultation at no cost. We help with career so that they can get back to the workforce. We help, donate clothes, suits for their interviews. So just something to, not just say be beautiful, but actually help in the process of them getting to that confidence. And so that was where that was birthed.
Yes, I love that. And I think that just really ties in with everything that you've shared, because it's about finding a sense of strength and personal power from a painful situation, but also, being able to see the value of the inner work and looking at these women and being able to pour into them and seeing their transformation is so impactful for you as well, and how you're giving your time and your services to really inspire and empower them to live their best lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Florence, I'm curious to know, who is your favorite elegant role model and why?
Elegant role model. The world is full of so many. I would say, and I don't know, it changes, but for me right now, it would be Yala. I've seen her grow, and I've seen her, how she helps people. And one of the greatest thing about her elegance is not just in her look. Again, I believe in that outward, inward shine outward. And so, yeah, I like the way she carries herself. I like the way she takes life with that purpose. So I would say, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Yes. And she's absolutely so inspirational and so incredible. And she does help a lot of people to find a sense of purpose and power in a painful situation that they've been as well. So I think that she's an amazing, elegant role model. I have to agree with you there. So Florence, what is one piece of timeless advice, or as I like to call it, one pearl of wisdom that you live by every single day?
Okay. Well, I think that would be, because I have many, and I'm a Christian, so I would say this in the simplest way. Trust in God. So above everything else, I always reverence Him, and I put Him first because He's higher than me in every stand. So I think that would be just having that faith that everything that you're going through, the journey in life, is to propel you to a higher being. So just believing in Him and trusting in Him would be the greatest.
That's beautiful. And I think that's so important because when we have that faith and we have that trust, then we
Yeah,
don't have worry. It's
we do.
impossible to carry both at the same time. And it's
Absolutely.
such an elevated way to live when you have that trust and that faith in God that He's taking care of the situation, that He's got you covered, and you really
Yeah.
just don't have to carry that sense of stress, anxiety, or worry. So that's
And you know,
beautiful.
it's pass. Whatever you're going through, the two shall pass. So yeah.
Yes, there is always sunshine after the rain. Well, Florence, it's been such a pleasure to interview you today. Thank you so much for being on the channel.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity and nice talking to you.
Oh, likewise, you're very welcome. Where are the best places for women to find you online?
So I have a website is www.florencefasan.com, and all what I do that I couldn't even get a chance to talk about will be on that website. So www.florencefasan.com.
Perfect. And ladies, I do have all of her links in the description below so that you can check out her website, follow her on social media, and stay connected to Florence so that you can get some inspiration to continue living in your purpose. As we close out this interview, ladies, I'd love to know from you in a comment below, what is one thing that you can do to get outside your comfort zone and continue pursuing your purpose? The best growth happens when we are not comfortable, when we are not necessarily living according to the status quo, when we are stretching ourselves. So I'd love to know from you, ladies, what is one thing you can do to leave your comfort zone and continue pursuing your purpose? Share with us in a comment below, and we will keep the conversation going. As always, ladies, if you enjoyed this interview, please do give it a thumbs up, share some YouTube love, and share it with someone to inspire them to continue pursuing and living in their purpose. I'm sure there's a woman out there that you know that would really benefit from watching this interview. So please do feel free to share it with a friend, family, or loved one. Ladies, thanks so much for tuning into the channel. I look forward to seeing you again in another interview, and I will see you in another video. Bye.